Movie waited 1 minute and 35 seconds too long to offer an apology for its awfulness.
Hold the phone there, Skipper. According to what actual audiences thought, you're on your own thinking this movie was awful. Nobody cares what the critics think. Nobody.
We interrupt this Power Rangers movie to bring you the remake of The Third Man.
Okay, I know what Third Man is, but you're sending a movie that was a nostalgia trip for what has to be people nearing or in their 30s, and you're referencing a movie from 1949. So this is Jeremy makes a vague-ass reference cliche.
We're moving on.
Cutting you out, literally.
Not only does the movie mistakenly assume kids of this age know what an actual printed picture looks like, this is a terrible picture to cut up.
Teens definitely know what printed photos look like. You see this? Yep. Only the hottest retail item of holiday 2016 and 17.
It's really impossible to cram a ton of crayons in a butt.
God damn, this movie's really gonna pile on the jokes about butts and wee-wees and pee-pees and all that bullshit. And anyway, Billy's just plain wrong.
Wait, how do you know it's not impossible to stick a bunch of crayons up someone's butt? I'm literally waiting for an explanation.
What's the plan, huh? What's he gonna do with his life?
Man, the over-expecting dad cliche meter is already at Kurtwood Smith and Dead Poet Society level, and we're less than 15 minutes in.
Jeremy makes a vague reference cliche.
It's 6:56. I know, you got 4 minutes.
Sure, Billy will be able to disable the tracking device, but Jason's parents are at home, right? They're not gonna notice he's out and about.
Did your parents constantly check on you when you were a senior in high school? Is that why you don't have a real job and make YouTube videos?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who are any of you? Fucking hell.
We are the Power Rangers.
Them?
This is the worst cyberbullying ever. Sending a poop emoji's the best you've got? Jesus. Haven't these assholes ever read a YouTube comment section?
Look, I agree that this generation of kids is probably the softest of all time, but bullying is bullying, and I'm going to have to give you 2 cents for encouraging it.
Am I crazy or this is crazy, right?
It's crazy.
Crazy, 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 crazy.
You have a coin, we have a coin. We should just talk about this. I mean, we don't know what
I have plenty to say about this moment, but the most important thing is that they decided to call those colorful alien stones coins. That's actually hilarious. How hard did Marvel lean on this shit?
Do you see these, Jeremy? These are the power coins, and it's what the movie's version is based off of. And it's why they're still called coins. This has nothing to do with Marvel.
During this trip down a magical wormhole, Zach takes some time for some casual flirting, because the power of boners is greater than the power of rangering.
Jeremy says boner.
Something out here.
The walls are shaking.
Come on.
Pretty sure those are out of order Creedence Clearwater Revival lyrics.
Jeremy makes a vague reference cliche.
Also, after all that underwater time, Billy should be thanking his lucky stars that flashlight still works. And where the hell did it come from?
Well, that looks like a mini mag light, and after some Google foo, I've found that while they don't advertise the mini mag to be waterproof, they technically kind of are.
Holy sh!
Movie with a PG-13 rating is too chicken to include an uncensored.
I can't tell if that was ironic or if you're clueless that you also censor the word shit.
And every planet in the universe that has life has a piece of the crystal buried inside it.
Oh.
You see, this is one of the main issues I have with you, Jeremy. You bitch when things aren't explained to you, but completely tune out when they are.
65 million years ago, Zordon's team died defending the crystal here.
So there were dinosaurs roaming around during this fight? Why isn't this fight the movie I'm watching right now? Because it sounds fucking rad.
That's literally going to be the last act of this film.
Are we really superheroes? Like, are we more like Iron Man or Spider-Man?
Movie has Marvel bias.
At this point, why wouldn't it? Iron Man and Spider-Man are probably the most popular superheroes at the moment, unless you're a Batman fanboy, in which case...
I was gonna say something along that line. It's complete horror.
Also, considering you found that that made you powerful, you're more like the guys from Chronicle. But since that's the movie you're ripping off, I'll add that you're also more like Green Lantern than you are either of the 2 dudes you just mentioned.
The characters from Chronicle had flight, telekinesis, and Michael B. Jordan. This ain't that.
This isn't training or teaching. It's sparring, without knowledge. How any of these asshats manage to learn anything in the pit is beyond me. Like, basically, they learn to fight by getting the kicked out of them repeatedly.
Well, yeah. That's how you learn how to fight, dude. What, you thought that you'd learn some jujitsu moves from an instructor and then you'd all of a sudden know how to fight?
So Billy acted, I guess, selflessly, and now dons the morph suit? Great. Why did they all have to stand over specific spots earlier to even attempt to gain the morph suits?
Standing in this circle, as a team, you can easily connect to the morphing grid.
It's like you didn't even listen to what he said. Zordon told them that they'd be able to easily access the morphing grid by standing on those platforms, but if you've ever seen an episode of Power Rangers, you'd know they'd be able to morph wherever they are. It'd be kind of pointless if they couldn't.
Can I help you? Don't. I'm interested. Gold.
Okay, they explain that Zordon can speak English because Alpha 5 plugged it into the ship's matrix, but how does Rita know it? Especially since she's also 65 million years old.
Yeah, that's a legit sin, but
I understand why Elizabeth Banks might want to appear in a goofy action film, but I do not understand why she'd want to obscure her appearance so massively as to basically make her look like a less demonic Alanis Morissette.
well, you said it yourself. She's 65 million years old, and as we all know, white people age like ice, and she's eating the gold to regain her youthful appearance, so this sin is some bullshit.
Get on the ground and you won't get hurt.
Holy Angel Grove has to have the most inept police department ever. This cop doesn't know that Rita killed all those fishermen. He's just responding to a regular jewel robbery. But he will shoot the out of you if you turn around quickly.
Have you seen cops in America lately? They will shoot your ass if you give them your license like they asked you to.
Hi, Zach.
Is there a fucking reason the last 6 seconds needed 6 fucking cuts?
There were actually 4 cuts. An establishing shot of the group, a shot of Billy, a shot of Trini, and a shot of Kimberly. But I will give you 6 sins for your dishonesty.
Sometimes I get too scared to stay there at night because I'm afraid she can't make it.
After seeing this performance, the director reflexively said, "Ha, no seriously, do the scene for real this time?"
The actor that plays Zach is from China. English is not his first language, so I'd say he's doing a bang-up job considering.
These 5 assholes without armor fight Rita and do not die, and I've lost all faith in this movie's mythology, to be honest.
They don't need armor. Jesus, do you just not get the concept of superheroes being, like, really tough? Who the hell am I kidding? This is the same guy that expected Spider-Man to be cut by glass and Drax to die by being swallowed after purposefully jumping inside an alien's mouth.
He loved being a ranger.
F you, dude. He only got his ranger armor for a second, and was only partially through his ranger training when he died. I realize you want to pump up the emotions of this moment, but don't use bullshit to do it, dog.
What the movie is stating is that Billy was the only one to really take to the idea of being a ranger, which is why he was the first one to morph.
Are they kicking ass because they're now wearing suits they have no training in, or because the movie's about to end? I mean, how the f does he even know this is possible?
What's really going to bake your noodle is if you would have broken it if I hadn't said anything. Wait, wrong script.
Make my monster grow!
I'm becoming convinced that 30% of this movie's dialogue was lifted from a bad porn movie.
No, it was a direct line from the fucking show.
Magic wand! Make my Goldar grow!
Rita and her golden boy haven't found Krispy Kreme yet.
Why the f not? She knows everything else in this movie, but can't figure out where the fucking donut shop is?
She's 65 million years old. Are you even sure she knows what the fuck a donut is?
These f***ers are guessing and flailing their way to victory with astounding ease. It's like discovering plutonium by accident!
Dude, plutonium was technically discovered by accident.
Well, that's a totally new thing. Guess he didn't use it before for dramatic purposes.
Did you expect to see all the capabilities of a giant molten gold monster in about 2 minutes of screen time? This ain't Pacific Rim, yo.
Thank you for being my friends.
You're not friends. It's been 11 goddamn days.
How long did it take you to make friends, Jer? Wouldn't happen to be the same length it takes you to put on a shirt, would it?
As the dino suits all converge into Voltron, I'm left to wonder how this is happening. There was no voice command, no Wonder Twins activate, no Go-Go Gadget arms, nothing. So the suits are smart enough to know when the situation calls for the Dinobots to become beast.
Well, kinda, yeah. It was mentioned that the Zords are somewhat sentient.
Why is Rita surprised? The Zords are clearly equipped to merge, and I have to believe that in the hundreds of millions of years they've been used, this has happened before.
My guess is she correctly assumed that you'd ask the exact same question and would try to send her for it, so she thought she'd beat you to the punch. And look where we are.
She's been bossing Goldar around like he's her little bitch the whole time, but instead of saying fight them, she merges with Goldar. Maybe so she can control him like a liquid gold Jaeger, but probably because the two of them combined make an even stronger villain. And they just didn't do it until now because she's lazy and prefers walking around and giving orders to just winning the quickest possible way.
Considering she assumed the Rangers didn't know how to form the Megazord and Goldar was kicking their asses just fine before that, do I really need to finish this sentence?
Go, go,